I caught like some guys slacking today too.
Slacking?
Yeah, like I was working out and some guy was like,
"Oh, and you?
Yeah.
Oh shit!"
I'm like, damn, that shit got you pretty good.
I'll do that for scientific purposes, cause like
yeah, check out more guys and girls.
Yeah, cause the guys you want to see like their build.
Yeah.
So you're like, that's what I want to look
Yeah,
like. You know what I mean? So like a dude will walk up and I'm like, fuck, man, that's the shit I
There's a
want.
lot of guys that I'm just like, damn, dude, you look good.
It's because you usually look for a body type like yours. So then you're just kind of like, oh, okay, well then maybe that's where I can.
I also like
head towards.
watching someone like when they have good form. You know, I don't know if you do
No,
that, like,
yeah.
or like they're lifting heavy as weight. You're like, damn, like that's,
Yeah.
you know.
Good job. You're doing good.
Yeah, that's just cool.
Now you can tell they have like their life together.
Yeah.
Like protein shakes.
Like changanas, you know.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
Like,
yeah.
you're like, damn. Well, I'm getting water for this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to alarm anybody, but I'm getting chicken nuggets after this.
Good source of protein.
Good source of protein, right?
What's up, you guys? How you guys doing? Welcome to CharroBeans. How long did that last?
You can keep
5
going.
seconds?
No,
Nah,
you got it. Charro what?
I said CharroBeans.
CharroPad. Welcome to CharroPad podcast.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool.
Welcome. I changed the name. We have to fix this.
Yeah, we're gonna get a new logo.
CharroBeans. Fuck.
CharroBeans podcast. Welcome everybody back to the podcast where we talk about Mariachi every once in a while. At this point,
Now we'll talk about Mariachi for sure.
now for real,
sure.
for real. We'll get our shit together. How's everybody doing? Thank you for coming back to listen to just another episode of, at this point, 55 episodes
55.
Of this little podcast that we like to call CharroBeans. Man, 55 episodes. That's so much time. That's so long that we've
hours.
commit. No, because we go a little bit over an hour. So
All right, 56.
yeah, I don't know, but it's a lot of hours of content, which I hope that you guys have had a chance to catch up on since we've been gone. What is this, our third episode since coming back? Yeah, so
The last two have been pretty
all right.
good. Pretty good.
We forgot to talk about Mariachi.
Yeah.
We threw some stuff in there, here and there for sure, but as we move forward, we want to make sure that we get back to gigging.
Right.
And it's the end of summer, almost. Well, that's the thing about August. It's the hottest month.
It was hot as fuck this week.
Yeah, like August is the hottest month in Texas for sure. And who knows, now with global warming, I don't know when the end of summer is anymore. You know what I mean? Well, technically it's, when's the beginning of fall? September 21st, I think.
When the leaves fall. That's when it's fall.
Right. And since right now, summer is ending in a couple of weeks, it feels very weird for sure. Just the fact that it's been this hot lately, like it's almost like when August hits, it just feels like an oven. You know what I mean? Like I'm starting to feel it in all parts of my body now, like as far as the sweat goes. And it's not even sweat, it's just like the feeling of being moist.
Humid?
Yeah, it's like my whole body is like at no point throughout the day am I completely dry. Like the minute I set foot outside my house, I become wet. You know, like if you touch my skin, it's slippery. Not right now. I'm inside. You know what I mean? Like right now we're good because we have a fan on. We have the comfort of AC in here. You know, but once you go outside, it's a different story.
It's hot in here.
Is it?
What the fuck? I just noticed that. I'm not comfortable. That's what it was.
I beg to differ. It feels like shit in here. I try keeping it okay in here, I guess. I don't know. It's all right. It's not that bad. Just so you guys know, what you guys are seeing right now on this side of the camera looks good.
Oh, it's a whole car crash over there.
Yeah, but on this, my house is a shit show right now. There's a lot of renovations going on right now. So it may look normal on this side, but right now the room or just like the studio in general is a mess.
You can't really see it because of all the light.
Right,
Like,
but we're going through a lot of changes here at my house. So it looks weird in here.
like they're making me a new room. I'm moving in.
Yeah,
with Sophie.
Vic's becoming full time. He's gonna be the new intern.
Voy a barrer, voy a trapear.
That'd be kind of nice. I like that.
Like you just walk, you just come home. Yo tengo como un mantil and shit.
I would like that. I like that.
I was kidding.
Oh, okay. Because I already had it picked out. Like,
Right. Like, see, this is your outfit.
Like I want to get home and you're making tortillas or something. You know. Like, ¿qué le damos, joven?
I'm like making gorditas. I'm like,
yeah. Would you have a personal chef?
Would I have a personal chef?
Yeah, you know how because to be honest, celebrities like they can do whatever they want. You know what I mean? Like, they can get fit very easily because they have a chef who
they have the time to.
Like they have the time. They don't have a job like us. They don't do chambas like us. You know what I mean? They have more time. They have personal chefs who just make them all the meals.
I think athletes have that too.
Exactly.
Like
they have
players.
peak physical fitness because they have the time and resources to put it in.
I mean, I had the money, I would.
Yeah.
I'd be like, can you make me a protein high meal?
High protein.
High protein meal? Took me a while.
For me, it's more like I would want to test the limits of how good they cook. Be like making me the most unhealthy, greatest tasting food you've ever made.
Unhealthy?
Yeah, because I mean, if I'm paying someone to give me like food, I don't want it to be like greens, shit that I can make myself, fucking broccoli and chicken and plain ass rice.
I mean, wouldn't that make that good and healthy? You know what I mean?
No.
Because you can just do that yourself in
No.
that case. Okay. Anyways, back to Mariachi.
Anyway, back to Mariachi. If everybody has been following along, we have been gigging. We have been playing. We've been playing a lot of performances, except not this weekend. We didn't have that much. Do you think people are just getting tired of? Do you think Mariachi will ever just like? That's a question.
What?
For overall, I've had this question before. Like people ask me, like, do you think Mariachi one day will be as popular as it is today? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a music that people hire mariachis to come out to, right?
Okay.
They hire mariachis to come out and play mariachis. But will there be a day where people just don't hire mariachis anymore? You think?
It's not anywhere close.
But do you think there'll be a day that there's just no more mariachi?
I don't think so. I mean, mariachi is a big symbol in Mexico, you know?
But everyone we play for is because we're playing for someone Mexican or
But
like
that. Take in mind that we're in the United States.
right, and
Yeah.
then the next generation. I'm thinking about all the Zoomer kids right now. They're gonna grow up one day. Will they appreciate mariachi in the same way?
I'm sure. I'm
do.
sure they have. I mean, you're a teacher right now, you know?
Okay.
Appreciate with your job, right?
Uh-huh.
There'll never be kids that don't.
Yeah, but that's only like a handful of students. I'm
That's
talking
all
like
you need,
the
to be
youth
honest.
of America. You know what I mean?
That's all you need, to be honest. Because parents are a big influence in the music you hear.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because
And a lot of kids, not knowingly, they're like, they love Hermoso Cariño, they love El Rey when it comes out, you know?
okay.
It's stuff they recognize, and it's stuff they're going to keep passing on.
I guess. I just feel. I mean, I'm not saying yes or no. I'm just saying I've thought about that before. It's like an existential crisis
I'm not saying
kind
it's
of
going to
shit.
be like, I mean, it might if, like, for some reason, Mexico ceased to exist. Because, like I said, like, it's a big thing in Mexico, you know? It's everywhere.
Okay, let me ask you this: is it bigger here or in Mexico?
It depends, I think. What you mean?
Because I guess it does depend on what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Because
education-wise, it's here.
it's here.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I think the better groups are over there.
Because I think some of the craziest things are that the audience for mariachi here is growing still, like in the United States, like in schools with the youth and stuff like that. It's growing for sure. But the majority of mariachis and the people that like. I'm looking at this like on a YouTube, like social media aspect, like Facebook and stuff, because like anytime mariachi obviously comes from Mexico, speaks Spanish, stuff like that. But it's crazy the level of engagement that is within Mexico and Spanish speaking Mexico mariachis than here. And the reason I say is because any video, like for example, today I was like randomly looking at Mariachi Vargas extravaganzas, like interpretation, and like they were like giving tips on trumpet and how to play violin and all that stuff. And I came across an interview with Roberto, what's his name? Roberto Lopez? Is that his name? He's in Vargas.
The guy that used to win Sol?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Roberto Lopez?
I don't know.
Well, his name's Roberto.
Right.
I just don't remember his last name. But anyway, they were interviewing him because he was the first Mexican American, or he is the first Mexican American that's in Vargas currently, like full on Mexican American from here, and he's playing with Vargas from Mexico.
Okay.
Right. So the interview was in English.
Okay.
Okay. So had a lot of views, right? And all the comments were like, "Can you please do this in Spanish?" Obviously, they're written in Spanish, but it was like, "Can you please do this in Spanish?" Like, "No mames, por favor en español."
Yeah.
Or it's like most of us. I saw a comment that literally said like, "Most of us are in Mexico. Like, please do this in Spanish."
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, because I kind of see that like with us. Like we've had those comments before on our stuff where it's like, "No les entiendo ni madres," but can ya?
But it seems like a cool idea.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing though. Like, I feel like that's also what holds mariachi back on either sides, because Spanish speaking, the language barrier of mariachi. You know what I mean? That's what, like, because we sing in Spanish, we talk in Spanish, like in mariachi, but like depending on where you are, it can affect you negatively. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Because like in Mexico, obviously they're gonna be like, these Americans, I can't understand what you're saying, and like in these interviews, like, please do this in Spanish, and then like the ones in Spanish, I mean, how many people have you met in mariachi that don't speak Spanish fluently? You know what I mean?
There's a lot.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's crazy that the divide is there. I feel like sometimes that's what brings down mariachi, because it's like not everybody understands either side. Like some people either understand English, others they don't, and it's like one's growing and then one doesn't. I don't know. It's just constantly like pulling back and forth, I feel.
I'm trying to understand, because I don't think it's a competition.
No, it's not. I'm not saying it is. Like, I'm saying like it's hard to grow in certain aspects that way. Like one will pull it back and one will push it forward. You know what I mean? Like it's a constantly tug and pull. Like mariachi's getting this super popular in the United States, and then at the same time in Mexico, it's also popular, but they can't understand the stuff that's going on in English. Okay. Because I also see like videos where people comment like on like the competition here in Texas, and they'll say like, this mariachi, estos mariachis, like the fact that they're students is like blowing my mind. Like Mexico needs to catch up. And it's crazy because, like, yeah, I mean, si hay talleres in Mexico, there's, like, workshops and all that stuff, too.
But it's not official. Like, it's not schools.
Yeah.
That do it. Si son talleres, it's from, they know there's a large amount of people in that city or, like, nearby towns that have a lot of mariachis. You know? So they're, like, they know, like, si convendría hacer un tipo de talleres. Like, they did that where in that parody video that you made.
Yeah, that was a taller, right?
Yeah. But it's like I think that was like in the middle of nowhere, you know, or not in the middle of nowhere, but like a city,
right?
That you wouldn't really be like here, you know.
Like this is Mariachi Central,
yeah.
Because like when I think of mariachi, I think of I guess Guadalajara, right, and mariachi also in like Mexico City, right. But I can't tell you anymore. Like Michoacán, Zacatecas, places that I've heard, but mariachis all over Mexico, just the same way that there's mariachis in fucking
and there's like mariachis in Colombia and like,
exactly, you know, exactly,
like going south.
And it's just crazy to see that like the language barrier can either negatively affect you or positively in some way, and that's what I'm seeing. And I'm saying that because we do this podcast, it's almost fully in English, and so many people have told us, you know, like try doing one in Spanish, like because we can't understand. But at the same time, I feel like we also can't. Oh, I speak this for myself. I'm not as quick-witted in Spanish for sure, and I don't want to sound like a no sabo kid because I'm not. But when you put me on here, I'm gonna challenge everybody here right now. If people were to ever say like you're an Osawa kid or whatever, or like it's like, oh, I would do a lot better. Like this is hard, like to do a podcast, like to just be on the spot and think of something right then and there, and like especially doing that in Spanish. The reason I say this too is because when we were doing the Arturo Vargas interview, there were times where I would fumble my words, and it's because like, dude, I'm talking with like this famous mariachi. Like the fact that he's on our show, it's like. It's hard, like to not sound like an idiot. First of all, you know what I mean. But I don't know, man. It's just that language barrier will always be there. I feel with like mariachi, it could either be a good thing or a bad thing, and it's weird to think about.
I think it's more like we have what each side has, what the other side doesn't have.
That's a good way of putting it. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Oh, that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, that's
okay.
what I'm trying to say.
Like,
that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Because here education pushes a lot for you to learn your instrument.
Right.
You know? But since like the system itself not knowing, okay, it's mariachi, they're just kind of like, they can only give you so much that you have to go out there and get it yourself. Well, in Mexico, la educación no les importa, you know?
Yeah.
To them, mariachi, or I know in my state, in Durango, el mariachi it's a second-hand thing.
What do you mean second-hand?
Like, you don't,
explain.
Like, I mean, it's not exactly the words, but it's like, es para pobres.
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah, that like you told me the story about your mom.
Yeah.
That when you started in mariachi in school, right? In middle school?
As soon as my mom heard I'm in mariachi, she's like, fuck, te vas a borracho. I mean, she's right. Right? You know? But, you know, she knows all the stereotypes from watching Pedro Infante, you know? Like, that guy, all of his movies with a mariachi, it's in una cantina.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
You know, at night doing some hood rat shit, like trying to serenade a girl that you're gonna get your ass beat over, you know?
Yeah, and it goes back to also like the lyrics of mariachi. Like, a lot of them are actually talking about like dudes getting drunk.
Yeah, and like I've been listening to an album by Pedro Infante this past week.
Okay. And
there's one where he pretends to be drunk.
Okay.
And it's like you're not helping my point, dude, you know?
It's like we have to teach this in a curriculum, sir. Like,
and then I went to the movie where the thing is, because Vargas is in there, so I just looked at it, and they're taking shots. And they're like, and it's like Espada Vargas, like she's like downing something, I'm like fuck, like. And,
no, it's true, man. It's very true.
Yeah, el sistema educacional de Mexico, like it just doesn't help, you know. But they have como la Plaza Garibaldi, they have stuff like that where like if you go, you're like, or I mean, most of them are from families, right? Like my uncle plays, so he taught me how to play.
That's how it is in Mexico.
And then you start building up from there, you know. Like some guy sees that you can play, and you just you get either lucky or you just like grown away that tocas chueco, but you're playing, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like I wish Mexico had.
And that's what I'm saying, that there's a disconnect. There's always a disconnect with mariachi, because like it's a thing that we're here in the United States trying to embrace and become better at, you know, and we look at it as a musical standpoint, you know what I mean? Like, because I mean the language barrier, okay, get rid of it for a second. If we're looking at it through an educational sense, like there's kids learning musical theory from the very beginning, and then using that applied to mariachi. In the same way you would apply it to band or orchestra or choir or whatever. That's how you learn musical theory. But in Mexico, it's not the same. It's like you say, like your dad plays.
Everything is like by ear.
Yeah.
Almost everything. Very few people would know how to
read like a sheet of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you ask them like, hey, that's kind of cool. It's like, oh, I don't know. Like that's what I hear. You know, it sounds right. Which is a good thing to have. But I think it's a good thing to have a little bit of both, you know?
Oh, no, like, for sure. There has to be like, you almost have to blur the lines a little bit.
Yeah.
Because like it's not good to only be on this side of all musical, because at the same time you can become dependent on only reading a sheet of paper.
Yeah.
Interpretation is out of the door, improvisation is out of the door. Just feeling the music is out of the door. You know what I mean? Which are all things that you would get in Mexico maybe by not having that disconnect. You know what I mean? Like there you're learning like a huevo, because like you're probably doing this because you want the money, to be honest. Like as a musician you probably get paid, and you'd rather get paid as a musician than, you know, working in cemento or I don't know what, or in la milpa, which my grandpa did all his life. You know what I mean? So you're gonna learn your best to play this vihuela or guitarrón or violin.
And I find that very like, cause have you noticed in a lot of interviews with like, I don't know, so they make there's a specific interview that I remember seeing, que estaba Nati Cano,
Nothing.
Jose Hernandez, Pedro Rey, and y el papá de Jose Hernandez, what guy's name?
Oh, his dad.
But they were there, and it's really funny how like, you know, a lot of people want to make it look like, you know, mariachi is like something that everybody loves, and like, you know, like they do it from their heart. But I remember this line where like the lady told, I think it told Naticano, they were like, you do this because you love this, you know, like you're doing this because, you know, you want to push for mariachi education and you want to do this. But Nati was like, we do this because we don't have a choice. You know, like we do this. Yeah, it's
live and in person.
He's like, it's por la necesidad.
Okay.
You're trying to work, so like, what you do, you gotta be like the best that you can be, so that you don't lose work. You know, you wanna be the guy that everybody calls to, so you can have all that work, so you can pay your bills. You know.
Yeah.
And I find that very interesting how people are like, oh, it's puro amor a la música, but in reality, you're just trying to survive. That's what a lot of the greats were. You know, like people like from Vargas, like they were just trying to pay bills, and they just got there because they're like, I'm trying to be the best because I'm trying to eat. You know, that's just crazy.
Fundamentally, that's what you'd want to do, because I feel like, okay, you can love the music, but at the same time, you got bills to pay, you got things you got to pay. You know what I mean? I mean, nobody's gonna do it for free, literally for free. That's why those workshops and all that isn't free. You know what I mean? I mean, if the world worked so easily, I mean, you could just come out and participate. You know. But yeah, that's very true. It came from a necessity. You know what I mean? Like, and I say that just because there will always be like that line in the middle of the English speaking musical educational world of the United States, and then like not to say that nobody in Mexico is educated musically, because I mean everyone from Vargas comes from Mexico. You know what I mean? Most of the greatest mariachis in Mexico or the world come from Mexico. And they're all musically trained. But what I'm saying is that disconnect is always what I feel like holds back mariachi in some ways. Because like the lines are so blur, you can blur the line. You know what I mean? The best way to learn is to know both in some way. You know what I mean? And it's not like you're required to know Spanish to play mariachi, because you don't. You know what I mean? It's about knowing what it is that you want to do. What is it? What kind of musician are you trying to become? I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I feel like it's always like a tug and pull. Like it's always like, and it goes back to what I'm saying. Like with this, like something like this is a mariachi podcast, but mariachi in itself should be like el mariachi podcast. You know, if we're saying it that way, this would be an all Spanish show. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. But like we grew up here playing, and we started in America, in Texas of all places, and we're up to this point, and I'm not saying I'm an expert. We say this all the time. We're not fucking experts. But what we do is I feel like we have a certain outlook on what it means to play here, at least in the United States. Right. And we're kind of giving that experience to everybody else who, like I said, there's someone right now listening like, ¿qué? You know, you know what I mean? But they don't understand, you know, and there's always going to be that barrier. It's because the music it originates from Mexico, and we're in a foreign country. You know what I mean? We speak Spanish. I mean, we speak English primarily here, at least like for the most part. Right. You know, and that's how we communicate. But sometimes I wish that wasn't there, because this show in general would reach a whole different audience, which would be like the people of Mexico. They could just listen to it. So maybe we'll do that later, you know? But like I said, it's hard to do that. I'm just scared of being up here like, es que no sabo. Even though, like, I'll say this again, I am not a no sabo kid, bro. Because, like, I can order tacos if I wanted to. You know what I mean? And I can say it correctly. But it's like, I'm not going to be like, my dad quiere unos tacos y quieren la salsa verde. And si no le das la salsa, dice que te va a pegar. You know? Have you heard it?
No.
Never heard that?
No,
It's like a sound on TikTok. I'm sorry. I've been on TikTok too long. But point is, I don't know how I got all philosophical right there for a second. But I don't know.
I do think the best players come from necessity.
From what?
Necessity. Like
from necessity? Oh, yeah.
Like, all those players. It's just crazy how good they got because they were trying to like that's my train of thought. Fuck.
Well, I feel okay. Well, if I'm piggyback off of you, I'm saying like most of them didn't. I don't think they planned on being the greatest. I don't think nobody does. You know what I mean? And if you refer to yourself as the best or the greatest, it's because you're probably insecure. Like if I'm over here saying like I'm the shit, you guys should all follow me, then I feel like that looks bad on my part because I feel like that's not how it should be. Like most people will tell you are. I mean, if I tell you right now who was the best guitarrón player that ever lived, still, you just ruined my point. I'll say Nati, right?
Right.
If I said Nati, it's because as a general consensus with all the guitarrón players, they're all pointing towards that fool, you know? And that's what I mean. Like, de necesidad, he got big, not because he was trying to be the best, but he became the best out of necessity. Right. You know what I mean? That's kind of crazy.
Can you imagine, like, you're just trying to eat? Or, like, you know, I mean, I'm not saying they came from, I mean, most of them came from nothing.
Yeah.
Or, like, from something.
Yeah.
But can you imagine you just, like, look back and you're like, damn, I think I'm pretty far.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm sure you have that thought.
Or, like, you hear, like, in the radio, like, Jose Alfredo, and you're like, damn, that's me in the back. You
know?
No,
yeah.
That'd be like...
And it's crazy because it doesn't always hit you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I've had situations where that's happened, but not to say, like sometimes you don't notice what's going on around you. You're just like, damn, like, I'm really here right now. Like, that's kind of wild because sometimes we're just so focused on fucking, you know, going forward or whatever, or just getting to the next thing, like the next gig, the next performance, new whatever. But then sometimes you do have to step back and be like, because I'm sure, like, for those fools, especially, like, for me, if I was Nati and then I'm going to places and then, like, them introducing me as, like, you know, Nati Cano, I'm guitarronero de Mariachi Vargas, and, like, you can see it on people's faces, I'm sure. So I'm sure he saw, like, all these people, like, damn, like,
he's like, what the fuck, like, what's going on?
Yeah, you know. But they see him, like, damn, like, that's really him, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that must be crazy, and that's why he has a certain legacy, you know what I mean? And it also comes from humbleness, right? Like you never wanted to be like, oh, I'm the shit, you know. That's it goes back to that. I don't feel like he was ever like that.
I never met him.
I've
only heard stories, you know, but
yeah, I
mean, they're some are sad stories because I mean he passed away pretty young compared to the rest.
How old is he?
I don't know. I think 40s.
No, really?
He passed away like he was young? Like
I don't know his 90s. Whole life story. That's what I'm saying, but
like 90s. I think 90, 91. Let me look it up.
And this goes back to kind of saying that language barrier because like mariachis don't get famous. You know what I mean? And I say that because like we in the mariachi community know who is a famous musician. You know what I mean? You know, we talk about trumpet players, violin players, vihuela players. We know them. Yeah. I mean, you try telling someone like in Mexico the biggest stars and the biggest. You ask Cristian Nodal who freaking El Pato was, for real? And he's gonna look at you like a duck, like a duck. You know, like, you know, and it's crazy because mariachis we respect them as the legends that they were, but they never got outside of that. You know what I mean? They don't become international.
I'm pretty sure
stars.
The ones that remain, they're like, damn, we really did some shit, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and it's almost like some of those people are still alive.
That's what I'm saying.
Like from Vargas or from Nuevo Tecalitlán.
He was 52.
He was 52. Well, there you go. Rest in peace. Paz descanse. What was I saying? Oh, like, what was I saying? Oh, some of those members are still alive today.
Yeah.
Like, they're still kicking it. You know what I mean? I mean, they may not be in those top groups anymore, or you'll see a lot of them still gigging out there. You know, todavía viejitos. I mean, look at
Pato's still working
every once in a while, and then Don Jesus de Ijar was still gigging.
He passed away, though, no?
Yeah, I'm saying he gigged he played performances until he couldn't. You know what I mean? Pepe Senior también. He played with Vargas as long as he could. You know what I mean? And like that's what I'm saying. They never became these big stars. It's also because like mariachi never gets any bigger. I guess it goes back to my main question. Do you think mariachi will one day just cease to exist?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Not anytime soon. Like maybe like I don't know, 500 years. You know,
If
like
if we don't freaking blow up the planet by then, yeah. But I guess I'm looking at it in that sense. Like, how relevant are we? Oh, not us, because we're like not mariachi. Relevant, but like mariachi. Yeah. In the world spectrum, you know, as of right now, I love the progress it's doing. Yeah, it's in schools. You know, they're doing an actual curriculum for it. People are learning musical theory, and that's what I like. You know, and now it's also up to Mexico to catch up in some ways. A lot of ways, it's up. I mean, I
feel like they've done some progress. Like I said, they haven't talleres, even if it's not based from a school system. Yeah, like they're still, you know. I feel like they got the example from like Albuquerque conferences and stuff, or Tucson. I think that's the biggest one.
Sure.
So my favorite one is the one from Albuquerque.
Yeah, Albuquerque is really good. I like that place.
But I feel like they can get there. Yeah. There's no hurry, you know.
Yeah, there isn't, and I love the progress that Mariachi has made, man. Like even just here in Fort Worth, you know what I mean? Like when I got started, I didn't think, you know what I mean? Like the progress is. It's getting there in just the state of Texas and in other states. Like, I love to see it. I really do. Because, I mean, that's the whole reason we're doing the show. Because we do this. This is our thing. So, it's kind of cool.
Nah. I mean, I remember there was a guy who told me that nunca el mariachi va a morir. Like, acuérdense.
Oh, they would tell you?
Yeah, and I'm like, no mames, dude. Like, you see all the mariachis that are growing, you know?
Yeah, man.
Like, and the thing at the time, they were like, not as many groups as there are now in the Metroplex. Okay. You know? Like, it only goes to show that right now it's growing as much as it can. No, and then they got that boost from, like, Cristian Nodal, who, you know.
Say what you will.
Yeah. But there's mariachi in there.
And mariachi's on the radio again. Yeah. That's what's, like, getting to me. Because that's what I mean. Like, it's relevant right now. And it has been for the first time in a long time. You know what I mean? Like, it's sad. It is sad in a lot of ways, right? Because, like, you won't hear, like, for instance, Mariachi Vargas just put out a song. I haven't heard it on the radio yet. Or did you know they put out a song?
No, I don't keep up with it as much.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I want it one day where Mariachi can really be out there, you know, on top of the billboards and stuff. But, you know, who knows if that'll happen and stuff like that.
I mean, it's a different age, you know.
It's a very different age.
Like... I think the biggest they were was like in that little golden age with like all those singers and like they made movies with like
different time, different time back then. Yeah, I mean they had whole feature films featuring mariachis. So yeah, it was. I would say it was very much more relevant then. You know, but
you never know. I mean,
emerging style. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I hope it goes up to that. That's what I mean. Because like here in the United States, I mean, I'm hoping that they're trying to embrace it, you know, and try to keep it going higher and higher, much more than it is right now. I love the progress, and hopefully it gets it even better. You know, I do feel like a lot of great musicians, are starting out like right now here in the United States. A lot of great musicians.
And like I said, education really helps a lot here.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of people that you can tell like they're gonna be like. You know, Pepe is one of them.
Yeah,
you know,
Pepe, like, for example, man.
Like, Pepe is the most hardworking person I've ever met. Mariachi, like, I remember seeing snaps of, like, people from, like that, from, at the time it was, like, Pan American. Mm-hmm. And, like, everybody's having a good time, and Pepe's just, like, practicing. Like, that guy has his headphones there, and, like, to a metronome or whatever they're working at, and he's hard at work, you know?
Yeah, man.
Like, a lot of people would say, like, dude, it's Bihuela, like, up, down, like, that's all you got, you know? Like, what else can you work on? Yeah. But that guy is just...
Yeah, man.
So consistent.
And that's what I'm saying, like when we were young, we knew Sol de Mexico as like one of those top groups. Yeah. And it's kind of crazy that an acquaintance of ours that went to our school is like in that group now. Yeah. And, you know, and he's young, man. He's my age, you know what I mean? So like for him to be like in one of those top groups, like in the same way we would look at videos of the Armonía section in Sol, there's like people a lot younger than us now looking at Sol's Armonía right now. You know, they're doing, it's like a cycle, you know? So to see that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to tell you whenever you ask me. There's always like
new generations. And that's what I'm hoping, that the generations are keeping up. That's what I'm saying. Because it's hard to get kids into music nowadays. Because technology's out there, bro. Like, you know what's funner than forcing yourself to learn an instrument that you're just starting out and your fingers hurt? Go on social media, because that's gonna be easier for them. It's easier. It's funner. They like playing with filters and shit. You know what I mean? And it's hard to find a kid that has that much dedication. You know why I got so good back then? Or like
novena que hacer.
Novena que hacer. You know, I didn't have the fucking internet.
I had that, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was in my room. There was a vihuela there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what made me like actually practice my instrument.
I'm here with like Metro PCS and like takes like 2 hours to download a video. I'm like, man.
Exactly. Like since there was nothing else to do, what are you gonna do? You play your instrument, you know. And I'm hoping that continues, you know, because now a kid can just be like, this hurts my fingers, and TikTok is just funnier. You know what I mean? Like and that's. I'm not saying that's an issue, because I mean technology will come it's come a long way from when we were kids, or at least teenagers, you know, and just looking forward, I just hope that now that the education is in place, I'm hoping that it continues. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna be wild if these kids are like. They're like, yeah, I play vihuela, and then they like pull out a vihuela app, and it's like, you know, and it puts the chords for you and everything. It's like chin 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 chin. Motherfucker has 2 iPads. He's like, chun, 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 chun. And that's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Ah, man. Sorry, we forgot super. Is that political? I don't know.
I think it's just opinion based.
It's a discussion. That's what it is. We need to get back into the shits and giggles everybody comes from.
Right?
Right? Everybody's just listening like, damn, like, fuck.
Just a tear coming out. Like.
Yeah. How are you guys doing? If you guys are still here, this is a good episode. What? Oh, we did it. We like we said, it's getting hot.
Right.
That's the last thing I remember bringing up, that it was hot.
Thursday we went to Seafood Shack.
We worked at Seafood Shack.
Your parents came in. Your family came in.
Yeah, my parents came in. It was my sister's my sister's birthday. She turned 21. I think it's so wild seeing my brother. Like, I have a brother and sister. I remember seeing them when they were
me too.
Young. You know what I mean? And they're very connected because they're only 2 years apart. So like my little brother's 19. She's 21. So 2 years. But I always saw they would always run around, and it was always them two. So seeing that, like, my older sister, or like my sister now turning 21, my little brother's in college, that trips me the fuck out, dude. Like, yeah. And they're like adults now. Like, I still call them the kids. Like, I call my mom, like, where are the kids at? And I'm like, I mean the young adults. You know, like, that's literally what it is now. Yeah. You know, it's wild to do that. I feel like when you're like an older brother, or just a brother in general, you always see your siblings like little. You know what I mean? I swear, when my little sister turns 15, Cassie, I'm checking out, bro. I'm too old, you know? Damn, man.
Yeah, I remember seeing them. Like, to me, every time we talk about them, I still imagine like their first time I saw them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, and then I see them in real life. I'm like, you wait. They're grown up.
Did you go to school with my brother?
I don't think so. I only went to school with Mariela.
With Lila? Okay.
But I didn't talk to her that much. Just remember seeing her. That's the thing too. Like, I only have like that image of her
when they were young.
And then Joe, I would see him every once in a while, but he was like an older.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. Everybody's getting older. They came out. Oh, they gave us cake, which was red velvet cake, which is her favorite cake. But I had to make sure that all that cake was put away, because the staff at Seafood Shack does not give a fuck. Yeah. Like, you would think if you see a bunch of plates with brand new pieces of cake on there, that we're saving them. But in their head, they're like, oh, they're done with these, and they'll just throw them away. Because so many times that they've done that with our boss's drinks. Yeah. He'll be drinking like an agua de melon or de mango there, or like a topo chico, or even like a beer or something, or like a full shot. Like, you know, when it's like there's tequila in there, and they look at it and they're like, and they just throw it. Gotta go. Yeah, this gotta go. Like, this is too much of a mess right now. Like, I gotta take up all this. Like, so many times that they're just taking his drink, and he's like,
"That's so annoying, dude. Like, you gotta take care of your drink or whatever you're eating. Like,
because they'll take it. They're just like trash, trash. You know what I mean? And It's wild, man.
I'm like, dude, it's not gonna make me go away. Like, I still gotta stay here. You know, you just took my drink. Now I'm mad. You know.
now I'm extra mad. What the fuck?
Because every time I'll teach her and Arturo's like.
Yeah, you just see him like all bothered, like,
yeah.
what the fuck is my drink? ¿Qué se lo tomó, güey? And I'm like, it's not me, güey. I don't know, you know. But yeah, you got to be careful with that staff, man, because they be on some shit sometimes. And right now, like our favorite mesera doesn't work there anymore. Apparently.
I thought she was on vacations.
Yeah, because she just stopped showing up.
Yeah,
I think we just didn't want it to be true. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
Because she hasn't shown up, and she's like, and we say favorite because she brings us waters, bro.
I will ask her for stuff, and she'll bring it. I think you were the one that would be like, you would ask other waiters, you were like, can I get a Sprite? And they're like, oh yeah, right away. And then they never brought it.
Yeah, like she's the only one that ever actually listened to you to be like, yeah, I'll bring out something, you know, or just in general, like the fact that we don't even ask for the water, she would already bring it, like knowing that we were gonna get it. So that was badass. Because before, yeah, I would ask, like, a mesero, hey, you guys have, like, a Sprite, like, a water that I could have, please? And then he's like, sí, ahorita te la traigo. And then they just disappear, and they just forget about it. And they'll walk by me, like, 4 times, and I'm just like, where's the Sprite, bro? You know, like, it's sad as fuck. So we're a little sad because she's not there, basically, right now. And, pues ni modo, pues ya que. We've been going, like,
rest in peace.
We're just thirsty as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm over there, like, talking, like, you know. Man, it's just dry mouth, man. It's just constant talking, you know, and playing. And I miss her already, bro. And then you gigged on Friday. How was that?
It was cool.
He cheated on us. He went to the Fort Worth Botanical Gardens.
Yeah. Which
is like, if you ever come to Fort Worth, there's like this big garden here, bunch of flowers and nature. If your girl's into that.
It's really nice. Yeah, I'm trying.
It's all right.
Trying to take Letty, but
it's
too hot.
It's too hot, dude. Wait till it's like fall.
Yeah.
Or like fresh. You know what I mean?
Said,
yeah.
No, but yeah, we were playing for a proposal, dude.
Oh, was it a proposal?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me what it was. I just know that you went somewhere.
Yeah, like I went. It was me and like 4 other guys. I think it was 5. Wait.
5 of y'all?
Me. Yeah, it was gonna be 5. But one of the violinist, the only violinist for guys violin.
For guys violin?
Yeah.
Like he went to the gig without a violin?
Yep.
Why? How?
I don't know. He said he's been doing that a lot. I'm like, maybe you should stop, you know?
multiple times. Yeah. At this point, it's a problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm like, you see a pattern here, you know?
So it's like, man, I can go to my dad's, and then he never came back.
Oh, so he just left y'all?
Yeah, he just left.
Oh, shit.
And but we're with these other guys. And, okay, you got kind of like, what the fuck with me because of this, but okay.
Okay.
There was this accordion guy. He plays requinto.
What do you mean?
Yeah, like he took the guitar and he started like requinteando, like canciones de trio.
Yeah,
stuff.
right. Okay.
And it was cool because like it was 2 of those guys, a trumpet player called Chema and the other guy, I don't know his name, but estaba requinteando. We're playing like those old songs, you know.
Okay.
Like old songs that como de trio or like old rancheras and stuff. And we're having fun, right? And then this guy's like, no, estamos esas canciones. And then he looks at me and he's like, tú no sabrías, tú estás bien joven. Like, tú no sabes nada de eso. Yeah. And I'm like, I've just been playing with you the whole time. You're the one struggling. I can see you right there. Like, and I'm just like,
just called you out.
I was like, fuck you, dude. You know? So that's when I got pissed. And he was playing accordion.
Yeah.
So like, later, that's when I asked him, like, ¿no sabes la canción del perro? And he's like, ¿la canción del perro? I'm like, yeah, an accordion. ¿No se lo sabe? He's like, no. It's like, pues, yo vi un video de una niña que agarraba el acordeón y decía...
The little button
yeah.
with the air.
And he found like the trumpet player was cracking up, but he was just like, fuck you, dude. Like, no, he's like, nunca la escucharon, like...
¿Sabes qué?
I'm like, tú no sabes nada de eso, güey. No, I didn't tell him that, but I was just like...
You should have said that.
Yeah.
She's like, ¿Así? ¿Tú lo sabes? You ain't never been on Facebook, bro?
For real? Like, that girl's pretty famous. But yeah, no, what was funny about that was we started kind of late because I think when it's a proposal, you're trying to make it like slick.
Well, yeah, they can't. I mean, the girl. I mean,
yeah,
I'm assuming it was a boy proposing to the girl.
Yeah.
Okay, so
like they were getting there kind of late, and then Chema, the trumpet player, was like, "Dude, I have a gig at 3," and it's like, it's like 1:40, and I'm like, I can't do anything about it.
And it was an hour?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it wasn't an hour. It's just like 5 songs.
Oh, just the proposal and dip? Okay.
And then they were like, hey, you guys are at the wrong spot. We were like behind the office. Have you walked into the little building?
The last time I went to the Botanical Gardens, I was like on a field trip. Like as a kid. Like it was a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like a little office, and we went behind there because it's like a cute little area.
Okay.
And we were just waiting for them. Like the cordon guy had like a bocina with them, and we were like all installed. We were ready, and then the staff walked in. They're like, "Hey, you're at the wrong place." Oof. But no worries. We have these little go-karts. We'll take you. You know. So we're like, all right, cool.
Like, I'll give you a ride. So how far was the next place?
It wasn't far. It was like 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
On the little golf cart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I mean, walking would have been like 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
And so we're there, and it's a cute little spot. We're waiting for them. We kept getting tripped out because we're like, is that them? Like, we don't know. And then it was like 2 guys. And we're like, I mean, you never know,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we're all about equality here.
Yeah. So we're just there, and then Chema just keeps getting more like, dude, what the fuck? I gotta go to work. He's like, me tengo que ir a trabajar. He has like a very distinct accent. I think he's like Guatemalteco. I don't know.
Oh, he has a pronounced accent?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And, yeah, he's just like, we finished. What was cool about that gig is like we went play like 5 songs, and then they gave us like $1. So
not bad.
like,
$100, 5 songs?
Yeah. He's
20
like,
per song?
He's just like, gracias. And I'm like, shit.
I'm not complaining.
I'm not losing this, And then we're waiting for the go, because they kind of go around kind of giving people rides, I think.
Okay.
So we're kind of waiting for them, and then Don Chema just like, no, pues yo creo que me voy a ir a caminar porque ya tengo que ir a trabajar. Yeah. And I'm like, nah, pues we'll just all go. We'll make some progress,
Okay.
And then we're walking, and then we see a little go-kart lady come back, and we're like, nah, dile a la güerita que nos lleve. Ya, que ya voy tarde. Yeah. And we're like, can you give us a ride? And she's like, sure, hop on in. It's like, and then she's just like, yeah, I'm just going to turn around right here because I can't do U-turns apparently.
Okay.
So we're going back, and then Chema, she's like, güerita, vámonos, que voy tarde. Like, I guess he just...
I think he was getting frustrated.
Yeah, he was getting very frustrated. He was trying to get...
I mean, I would be too, kind of low-key, because, like, I get stressed if I know something's coming up. Yeah. So it's like... It reminds me of the guy from The Office. Like, I'm supposed to be at the Finger Lakes right now.
Yeah, Jim Carrey.
Yeah. It's like, as long as I can get to the Finger Lakes, I'm supposed to be at the Finger Lakes right now. So this fool was like, I have a gig at 3, so I'm trying to get the fuck out,
Yeah, he's like, písale, güera, písale. And I'm like, Don Chema, like, no saben.
You said something about him breathing hard as fuck too.
Yeah, right? Dude. It's because he's a little short. He's like, me alcanzaba como hasta aquí.
Am I taller than him?
I think so.
Okay, then he's pretty short.
This little short guy is like, y está chonchito también, He's like, he's a little big. Yeah. Okay. So it was funny. He was sitting behind me all the time. He was just like...
I think it's a mix of like tiredness and stress.
Yeah.
Because like my heart rate goes like a little, and I'm like stressed. I'm like,
yeah. I mean, we're walking back halfway, so we're like, we should be pretty close.
Yeah.
But la señora was like, well, I gotta see if I find more people to take.
Right.
So nos llevó all the way back to where we had come from. And then Chema's like, puta madre, me hubiera puesto a correr. And I'm like, I imagine Don Chema running. It was the funniest thing. I was dying the whole time.
Really? Yeah. You just see this fool stress as fuck?
and then para acabarla, like, she turned into this little parking lot to go back. And there was a lady there. And then la señora is like, the driver is like, oh, you need a ride? And Don Chema's like, dile a la güera que llevamos prisa. He's like, ya voy tarde, like, tengo prisa. And then the la chofer is like, yeah, hop on in. There's no hurry, like walk on in. And then Don Chema's like, ta madre, is like all upset. And we're driving back, and he's just like low key kidding, but low key kind of like pinche güera, like ya voy tarde, no ves. And then we see a parking, and it's like, me han dicho que estaba aquí, you hubiera corrido. And I'm like, the whole time.
You sure, bro?
Yeah.
You sure you would have run there?
I'm like, I wouldn't make it, dude. I don't know about you.
It's the language barrier, dude. Yeah. She doesn't understand you're in a hurry. Yeah. And he's like, I'm in a hurry.
And we're there laughing, like me and John, But we don't bother to tell the lady, like, hey, this guy's in a hurry. We're just, like, enjoying the show that this guy's giving us.
It's a little bit of a shit show. Yeah. You're, like, watching the stressed out dude.
We're like, that's a personal problem, man.
Yeah, right. Like, I'm gonna make my $100, you know what I mean?
I'm like, you already made $100. You're done.
I'm like, no pasa nada, dude. You're gonna get to the gig late anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good day, you know. But yeah, that was a whole trip.
That's good. I mean, as long as you had fun.
Yeah.
Plus $100,
Don
5
Chema
songs.
was not having fun. Se está acabando el hígado, el pobre. Like,
What do you mean?
Yeah, like, you know, like, I don't know. That's a saying.
Is that a saying?
Say, like, yeah, like,
I don't know. I heard it.
like when you're upset, you're like constantly getting upset. You're like, "Te vas a acabar el hígado, bro." Like,
like
tone it down
from using it.
I don't know.
Like
I don't know. I don't know. I'm guessing your liver fucks up.
I guess. Okay.
But yeah, I just kept telling them that he wasn't
happy.
Yeah.
Poor guy, man. I mean, I hope he got to
I
his
had
gig.
fun. Shit.
Right? Like, I had a blast.
Yeah.
So I mean, it doesn't matter.
And then we had the
planta, but nothing happened. I want to talk about the wedding that we played on Saturday though, because it was kind of cute because they had a Miata parked out in the front, which is, if you know what a Miata is like the smallest car ever.
Una Miata.
See, and then it's not a car made for tall people because you won't fit in there. And what happened was when they finally,
I wouldn't fit in there.
You'd fit in there, but you wouldn't fit comfortably.
I would fit like Mr. Incredible in the little blue car.
You're not as thick, but yeah.
Like
you would just feel a little.
I'm like,
maybe we'd have to see. But these people, the couple that got married was very short. Like the groom was shorter than me. And like I said, if you're shorter than me, you're pretty short. You know what I mean? Because I'm not that tall. So. I thought that was cute, and they had tacos there at the wedding. Yeah. I was excited though because I was hungry. I was like, "Ni he comido," you know. Yeah. So when we were done, the whole time, like people were just walking by me with like this plate of like tacos the whole time, and they had pastor with pineapple, which is my favorite. Yeah. Like when they have pineapple with the pastor. So at the end when we actually like got to go there, they were also making tortas. So I was like. I want to try both. The fat ass in me is telling me, like, you need to get both, right? So I was excited for the torta, and I got, like, 2 little tacos on the side. But the torta didn't hit. It just wasn't there, dude.
It was just, like, pan with pastor and cheese, right?
Yeah, but, like... Oh, the other thing is, I don't like when the pastor has a lot of fat. So it was a lot of squishy. Like, it was a lot of fat. There's not a lot of meat. So it was very disappointing.
Arturo's fuming right now.
Why?
I don't know. Whenever you were like saying like fatty foods, he's like, "Shut up, bro." Like,
really?
Yeah.
Like, oh no, like I like carnitas because carnitas is good. Like with all the fat, the like carnitas are the best when they're at their most unhealthy, which is like with all the cuero, all the fucking aceite, all the lard that's in there, all the little pieces of fat. Like But the pastor, like, literally was all fat. You need a mixture of it. You know what I mean? So, like, it's not that I didn't like the fat. It's that it didn't have enough meat mixed in. And I was just like, it was very disappointing, especially if you're hungry, like, which we were. I even got a margarita because lately I've been into margaritas, kind of. And it was trash, too. And I was like...
Yeah, I tried Arturo's. I was like, this is trash.
It just tasted like if a mango was disgusting.
I can't imagine that.
Exactly, that's what it was.
It tasted like water with a hint of like not mango. You know what I mean?
No, it just tasted like mango if it was depressed.
I didn't taste any mango at all.
Oh,
it was more water, and it had like a really dry.
The best part of it was the chamoy, which is kind of sad, and the chamoy wasn't even that good. That's what I'm saying.
Trash.
Point is, I was very disappointed in the food because I was like the whole time I was just looking at people pass by with like plates of tacos, so I was very excited, and it almost to the point that it made me mad that like people were walking by with like 1 taco, 2 tacos. I'm like, how you gonna come somewhere and only eat?
Like, can't pass my macros, bro.
I'm like, this is the place to pass your macros. Like, you're at a wedding, it's a
Apparently
weekend.
Not.
It
was trash.
It was kind of cool seeing little kids playing Halo.
Oh yeah, I walked in. I was trying to play low key.
Really?
Yeah, because I walked in. I'm like, you guys are playing Halo? They're like, yeah. And then like some little kid was in trash. I'm like, can I play? And he's like,
you would have freaking murked them, dude.
Yeah.
Because I remember all those trips for the Mariachi that we would go to San Antonio and all these different parts of Texas. and we would stay up all night just playing Halo. That's the only time I played like Halo, but it was very fun. For some reason, Ivan always had his shirt off. You know what I mean? And
I'll never forget that time. You fell asleep while playing once.
oh, did I?
Yeah, like you fell asleep and the controller was like on your chest.
Okay.
And you started snoring.
Uh-huh.
So like they killed you and the controller.
Excuse me? Oh, that's another trip, bro.
So, well, the controller vibrated.
Okay.
And you're just like,
oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't remember
and
that.
Then I pretended to like zip my pants back up. I was like, oh shit. And then you were just.
It's like, oh shit, my bad, bro.
You're like, do it
again. You know me. Yeah, dude. I just remember those nights, dude. Yeah. That's when you were like. That's when you know you were having a good time. Like, so like one of those memes is like you didn't know that was the last time. You would be playing Halo with your boys. That one time you played Halo with your boys for the last time and you didn't know it. You know what I mean? And that's it. And I don't play video games, but the fact that we would play that all night, like it shows you how much fun we were having. Like,
I think you and me one time we spent all night playing FIFA.
And I'm not a good FIFA player. I'm like trash.
We were just trying to get red cards. We kept like slide tackling the ref.
Like that's my favorite thing to do. Like, you can make your player like slide.
Yeah. And
I was just sliding into everyone's ankles. Yeah. Like 3/4 of the team had red cards. Like, the goalie was one of the fucking forwards by the end. You know. It's funny. Yeah, man, this is a good time.
That poor ref, man.
Yeah, man. And the last gig we had, it was like this. It was their birthday. Someone's backyard.
It was like their mom's birthday.
Yeah. The only thing that happened there is that we met DJ Khaled.
Oh yeah.
There was a dude. The whole time Arturo was like, "It's like we the best," and he was just poking fun of him.
I like how he played along though. He's like, "You a real one," or whatever the fuck is that?
Yeah. But he was laughing about it. He was cool about it. Yeah.
And then we were taking like a picture, right?
Yeah.
And then he got next to me. He's like, "Hey, bro, can I borrow your guitar?" And I'm like, "It's not a guitar." And then he's like, "Come on, let me take a picture with him." Like, and at first I told him no. Mm-hmm. You know, I was like, "Nah," and he's like, "Come on, bro," and I'm like, "Okay, you did your Khaled, okay, you know."
Yeah, you were cool. Yeah, all right, cool.
And I told him like I thought he was holding it, but I wasn't letting it go. Like I was like,
oh, like you were holding it with him? Oh, I didn't see that part.
I was like, "Don't hit it," and he's like, "I'm not gonna hit it, bro." And then I don't know, 3 seconds later, he just like, all you hear is like, "Cool." Into your vihuela. And I'm like, I looked at him like, what'd I say, bro? He's like,
I heard that part. I was like, what'd I say?
He's like, oh, my bad, bro. Like, it's like, and I'm like, give me that shit, dude. Like, well, I didn't tell him that. Like, he took the picture with it.
Yeah, he took it.
But I'm like, dude, like, I told him to hit it, and that's the first thing
he does. Like,
grab it into another instrument, like, you know.
Like, he did not hesitate to like just do what he said he wouldn't do. You know?
I've never been so betrayed.
It's because he wanted to hold it like a guitar.
Yeah.
He thought like you could hold it like that. So like I guess he picked it up and you just hear like that loud ass like thump into my vihuela.
You're just like,
I'm like, no mames, wey.
That was funny.
It is because I personally don't like that sometimes because it happens all the time with photographers.
Yeah.
Photographers get way too cute with it. And like to the point where like they won't even ask me. Like they'll just be like, "Dame la guitarra," and like cause I pose for pictures, right? And usually like depending on what side I am, I hold the vihuela and I'm like, okay, like they're like cheese or whatever, and we take one, and literally he'll just come up like, "Dame la vihuela," like before I can even say like, oh, well, I'm gonna say yes out of the nicety of my mood. I have to be like, I'll be like, I don't want to be disrespectful or whatever. So I'll just be like, okay, well, here. Usually they want to give it to like the quinceañera or the wedding couple for them to hold an instrument. But it's like, this instrument is worth like what you're making today. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like it's very expensive and I try to take care of it. You know what I mean? But it's the fact where they're just like, give me that shit. And it's like,
yeah, dude.
What entitled you to do that, bro?
This is worth more than your life.
This is not the way, you know? But
con cariño. La puntita.
But yeah, it's and then we took like I know, and then we took like 10 minutes worth of photos, dude.
Yeah.
Like they kept wanting us to post to the photo, but like I guess the last person they wanted wasn't there.
And then she got there.
But it would just like constantly like, no, another one. So by the end of it, like my smile is no longer genuine. Like it's literally like my jaw hurts. Like this part, or what is it? Like your cheeks. Okay. Your cheeks start to hurt from like just standing there smiling like a damn freak. So I didn't like that, but I ran out of there as soon as we were done.
Yeah.
Oh, and they had us next to the grill, and that shit was on.
Yeah.
And it was already, namely, it was already hot as hell, you know. Yeah. So, and there was like a little piece of like meat on there, and it was burning up. And I was just
the oil in general, which was like fuming.
Yeah, and I was just looking at it like, is anybody gonna address this? Like it shit's on fire, like, you know, like the little meat was like black, dude. Like it was already burnt, you know. Just I guess watch where you put us. What if like it grabbed onto my traje and then I turned on fire? Valió madres.
That's quite a show. I would pay to see that.
Patreon?
You know how much are we talking about?
Right. I mean, it depends how much you give me. Let's do a quick Charro chat since we've been getting cute with these these podcasts and going way longer than we're supposed to. Let's go real quick. When will Charro Vlogs number 4 be uploaded? I don't know.
My girl has been asking about that.
Yeah, you told me that she likes them. Yeah.
She said she feels like she's there.
Oh, that's cool. That's kind of what I wanted when I made those. I wanted to be like a real representation of what's really going down. You know what I mean?
She watches them like every day, dude. She's obsessed. Not with me, right?
Right. But yeah, it's that's the idea behind them, because I've seen so many vlogs where, like, not just Mariachi, but like vlogs in general, where I feel like it's very scripted, or it feels like they have like a way of doing it. Like I literally record and I just see what happens, because that's what happens. That's what happens at gigs. I like to be real about it. They also asked, do you guys mock each other? Yeah, all the time. Well, I think I mock you more than you mock me. How do you mock me? Or what do they mean by mock?
I think they just mean like horseplaying.
Oh yeah, that's how you get camaraderie with somebody.
That's our whole thing. You should see how it's like to my boss. Like I feel like, like, you know, I'm always like, so how much are you stealing from us today?
And I feel like that's how you know someone's genuine in some ways. Okay. You know what I mean? Not to say that someone who talks nice all the time is bad, but I have noticed before, like, usually if you're talking shit to someone's face, it's because you like them or you love them, right?
Like you're trying to be straight up.
Yeah, you're just being like, wait, tocará bien, wey, no mames. But like at the same time, like we're not trying to put each other down. It's just kind of like a conversation piece.
Our language.
Like the worst thing someone could tell you is like, hey bro, like you play really good. Like sometimes you could just tell it's not genuine. It's just like, hey, how do you get that good? I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm a little afraid right now. I'm not sure where you go. I'm a little confused by your tactics. But no, I guess it feels weird sometimes. But I feel like when you get a sort of camaraderie with, like, technically we're like coworkers, and with everybody else that we work with are coworkers. Usually when you have a certain level of comfortability too, is that a word?
No.
Comfortability?
No, that's not it.
A level of comfort with the people that you're with. Usually your real self.
Comfortability. Isn't what it is?
No, that's just, you just said it differently than I did. You just said comfortability.
I'm not, we're both wrong. Okay?
We're both wrong. But yeah, because I feel like when I came into the group, obviously you're trying to be respectful. I was very young back then too. I didn't really know anybody in the band.
I mean, we don't do it like with new people, you know?
Yeah.
Like we've been around each other so long.
Yeah.
Like which is like, fuck you, dude. You know, like,
yeah. Like if you've known someone for a very long time and you're still like, have a great night, sir. Like at that point, I don't know. Someone's being fake. Yeah. Someone's being fake, you know. They're probably walking back to their car like, I fucking hate that dude, man. He's annoying as shit, you know. But we mug each other all the time. It's just a thing. I don't know, I guess. Next person says, if you would make a custom of your instrument, what would you put color rosette design? So I'm guessing vihuela and guitarrón.
Sure.
I think that's so cool that vihuelas or like these Mexican instruments that you can customize them. Because like most violins look the same, most trumpets look the same. But I feel like the wooden instruments you can really go ham on. Like harps, Like harps, you can find really nice colored harps or designed harps and guitarrones. Even guitars, not so much either too. It's all these Mexican instruments. Every single one that I've owned has looked different, and that's what I like. That I can have like a sort of custom look to any of the instruments that I've owned before. I like that.
What gets me is that sometimes the luthier won't get it right.
That's annoying as hell. Yeah.
Cause I got tired of that after a while. Like it was like
it's more annoying if you had a whole conversation about why you want this and like for example, let's just say you wanted a red guitarron. You talk with the luthier. You're like, yeah, I want a guitarron because my favorite soda is Big Red. Say that was the reason, right? And they're like, oh, okay, sí, lo vamos a hacer todo rojo, okay. And then you call them back like a week later. Oh, okay, pues ya la pintamos, está azul. And I'm like, we had a conversation about why I wanted it red. I love Big Red.
Yeah.
Make it red. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it's so many times that it happens. That happened to me where I would call a luthier and they would just not do what I said. And
what next me, and I've told you before, I'm not gonna say his name, but it's sometimes like you tell them like, hey, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, and they're like, mira, lo que pasa es que no lo puedo hacer, porque, lo que pasa es que cuesta más dinero y pues no conviene. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you I want it.
And you're also telling them you'll pay them for it.
Exactly. You know, like, obviously, I'm asking for custom-made stuff. Obviously, it's going to cost more. Because I know that's fancier than than a regular, traditional.
Like someone that wanted just a regular-looking instrument.
It's just, I don't know what's regular. Regular would be like, you know, los picos en sol. You know, like regular yarda, you know. And I know it's different and maybe even more complicated to do. But I'm asking for it, so that might tell you that I'm ready to pay, you know? Because I always hated that shit. I'm like, hey, can you put this? And like, oh, lo que pasa es que está más complicado y cuesta más dinero, necesito conseguir esto. I'm like, pues consíguelo.
Yeah.
You know, like,
you're the one offering your services, bro. Like, what do you want me to do? Like
that's always nagged me. Yeah. But I think if I had a custom-made bass, probably like I've always liked the reguilete.
Like this?
Yeah, but not like that. Those are like a little too chunky. Like
then like the other one?
Yeah, like that one.
The other one I have? Yeah.
With like really shiny concha.
Oh, okay.
And I really like it's a lot on 80s bases. Oh, like this one. The La Yarda. It has like yarda of like
the
like
multicolored one. That's my favorite. I love the multicolored yarda.
That's what I like.
Yeah.
That's what I would get. And obviously the el filete would be not like this. It would be like striped.
The regular Morales.
Yeah, I like that. And then on the head, I would always, I mean, now with more experience, I would ask for un diapasón de ébano.
De ébano?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like ébano is the harder wood. So it does, si te conviene because it would last long.
Right. And then head with tuning pegs. And probably just the stripe. I don't know, the stripe has grown on me.
The stripe?
Yeah. It's just like the head and it's just like a stripe going down.
Oh, like my vihuela. It has that. It's just a stripe.
Right.
Yeah.
That because I remember I used to love the diamond one a lot.
I don't like the diamond anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Like that used to be like what I liked, but now I'm like, and the head would be like the other one that I have, the Roberto. You know how it's like that, and it's like there's like a little rocket.
Oh, the little ears, the Mickey Mouse ears. Yeah, I like that on the bases. It looked kind of cute. I like it.
That's my and probably like un color vino. Probably like the one.
The one your Ruben?
Yeah.
Like a wine color.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I like that. For me, it would just be I had my very first green Morales. It was a very nice green.
Oh, I remember that.
I liked it because it was like blue green.
Yeah.
Almost like bluish green. It was like a darker green, so it looked very nice in the daylight. Probably the best color I've ever had. And then I'd probably get like a rejilete. I've always had like this thought in my head of what I would like as the rosette. I can't put it to paper, but I have like this spinning kind of design in my head. Something like that. I like vihuelas that look different. I don't like it to look basic.
Okay.
Not to say that it's bad, but like I've always liked things that, because like I look at vihuelas like a work of art. I really do. Like every single thing that makes it a vihuela is like so cool to me. So I like every aspect of it. So I would try to customize like every little thing, like the rosette, probably green. The side, I would want to make everything different. everything different. The only thing I'd probably get kind of regular is the yarda. I love the yarda with the colors, with the red, orange, red, black, and white kind of.
Red, and it has like clear. A yellow in there, no?
Yeah, whatever, like that one, right? And then everything else, like I just like being different. That sounds like such a I'm different kind of thing, but it's because I do like vihuelas that look like I specifically look for some that like look funky. I've bought so many that just like look weird, and I like that because they're different. You don't see that a lot. So yeah, I guess that. Last question. How did you balance teaching and gigging? I just started my job and I kind of don't gig. It's certainly a thing. Sometimes it can become an issue, but I think at the end of the day, it's just time management. You got to look at it like this. Like, yeah, gigging does take up a lot of your time, especially what we do. We have crazy hours. Like I'd be coming home like for example, this Saturday, I left my house like at 1, and I think I didn't come back till like 12 or like midnight. So I mean, that's a long time to be outside your house. You know what I mean? So I think it's all about time management and knowing what days what days you're gonna work, knowing exactly what you're willing to give up in order to facilitate that time. For me, it's also making sure that I have all my stuff done, like teacher wise, because I don't want to make sure I'm behind on anything. So if I'm gonna be going to gig and I know I'm gonna be out there all day or whatever, at least have my shit done, ready to go for the next class or the next week or whatever it is, right? So that's for me. It's all of it, like with anything, is time management. And at the end of the day, if you still want to gig, you still want to gig out there. Me and you were talking about this. If you still want to gig, it's because you like to gig, or you either. A lot of people do it for the money, which I do too. I'm not gonna lie, but I do it because I like to, right? So if you want to continue gigging, at that point, look into it. Time management. Make sure everything is done. And you should be able to still do it. I think the only reason you'll stop gigging ever is because you don't want to do it anymore. I think that's literally the only reason people stop, is because they don't want to do it anymore. Until I get to that point, then cool. But as of right now, we're still good. Yeah. And the last one, this one is confession. I think it says, I hit it with the passion when vihueleros do redobles with just their fingers. Use the thumb too. At that point, it's just technique.
I've never seen that.
Well, he's talking about this.
Yeah, I know what he means, but yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah,
but I never seen someone do it on purpose. You know what I mean?
I've seen it before, but it's mostly with people who are starting out, and that's because they're scared of their thumb. They don't realize that it's not a forearm movement; it's your wrist, right? So you got to make sure that the thumb is incorporated as well. Right, so for that, it's just, I mean, if you hate it, it means that this person probably doesn't know technique. I would suggest that person work on their technique, because like with any habit that you have musically, if you do not kick the habit early, you're gonna do it for the rest of your life. So I would just say, probably tell them, dude. Just tell them, like, hey, bro, like, you have a thumb, dude. Just use it. You know? He's like, oh yeah, thump in there.
I mean, just no. I don't know.
I mean, that's all I could say.
Yeah,
that's just bad technique. If you're playing like that, that's bad technique. Like with anything, you don't want to play with bad technique. So
like, dile, bro.
I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's what pues dile, way. I mean,
the one that snagged me is when they use a guitar pick on vihuela.
Yeah, don't.
That's some different
do
shit.
That. That's just no. That's a no. I've had vihuelas that are literally messed up because someone used a guitar pick, and that thing will go through the mica. So you're making holes in vihuelas at that point.
Guitar picks are made for the resistance of 6 strings and a lot harder tension.
Yeah, the vihuela does not require that at all.
Like a guitar pick will shred that thing.
Yeah, so I think it goes back to what I just said. Have your technique on point. Make sure that everything you're doing is at least traditionally what is associated with that instrument. Make sure you have your guitar pick for a guitar. Make sure you use the finger pick for the vihuela. Or if you don't use a finger pick, just use your nails at least. And that's it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Goddamn.
What can I say?
You sleepy?
Yeah.
You worked out today, right?
Yeah.
So it smells a little musty in here, according to you. I can't smell it.
No, she said it's hot in here.
Oh, I thought that the must was radiating throughout this place.
Nah.
No, okay. right? Like, don't open the door; it'll let the stank out. It's like a hot box, but with smells. But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for coming back for episode 55 of CharroBeans podcast. We're excited to have you guys come out every week. We love you guys. The 3 people that listened.
Yeah, make sure to give a like.
Oh yeah, make sure you put your like, subscribe, rate, all that stuff really helps us out, guys. We're trying to keep this. We're trying to get this everywhere, kind of like we said in the beginning. We wish this. A bunch of Mexican people that only speak Spanish will listen, but they can't, So at least you guys that are American and speak English, please share, like, support us. And
please.
Right,
pretty please.
Pretty please with sugar on top. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say. You guys, we will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Love you. That was a legit cough. Like I was playing around and I'm like. I'm like, Casper, we packing.